Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to look at 4 things spotted in Arsenal training as Mikel Arteta prepares the Arsenal players for their match in the Carabao Cup versus AFC Wimbledon. And in terms of Mikel Arteta, this is a great opportunity for Mikel Arteta to find players that are pretty much the fringe players and give them opportunities. Maybe give the youngsters some opportunities to show that they're capable of playing in the bigger stage versus a team such as AFC Wimbledon, who are in League One, whereas we're in Premier League. And this is an opportunity for Mikel Arteta to see which players who can try and break it into the first team in the future in terms of trying to play the Premier League matches, as that's the only more important competition. But this is an opportunity for the other players to have a rest and get a good performance overall. So the first thing on the list is the fact that Charlie Patino is featuring in training, and Charlie Patino is someone that could be featured in the training session as well as the match as well, because he's someone that has been impressing it in the stage at the under-23s at a very young age, at 17. He is seen as the next big thing to come out of Hayland Academy, or maybe even the one with the most talents, as many people have stated that he has more talent than the likes of Wilshere, and even has more talent than the likes of maybe even Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe, to really be a big player for Mikel Arteta next season, and even this season as well. But in terms of Charlie Patino, this is a position where also do lack it in terms of that midfield depth, because for us, the only 2 solid midfielders we currently have are Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga, but we have fringe players such as Granit Xhaka, Mohamed Elneny, other players such as Maitland-Niles, but Charlie Patino can easily fit in that number 8 position / the number 10 position, as our 2 midfielders are pretty much the likes of Odegaard and Smith-Rowe in terms of the number 10, and Patino can definitely operate in that position. But when it comes to Patino, he gives me those thoughts of someone that can be that next Aaron Ramsey, the next Jack Wilshere, the next Santi Cazorla, someone that has a little bit of flair in midfield, someone that can make things happen at a certain moment in time, and hopefully that is Charlie Patino in the future. So the next thing on the list is the fact that Mohamed Elneny returns to training, and Mohamed Elneny was subject to interest from the likes of Fenerbahce, Besiktas, even the likes of Galatasaray, but also didn't sell him in the end because they didn't have midfield options to even prevent our midfielders getting injured. So Mohamed Elneny was kept into the squad. But when it comes to Mohamed Elneny, we have a player that is very, very motivated, driven, and very passionate in terms of his ability, but in terms of his character and everything, that is very important. But when it comes to Mikel Arteta, we know that he can't do the wonderful things, as if he can do the basics very well. He's something that does work hard for the team. He puts 110% in every performance. But in terms of technique, in terms of talent, that is something that just can't come for every player. And unfortunately, that's something that isn't in Mohamed Elneny's game, because most of the time I see him playing back passes and side passes. Because when it comes to Elneny, there's one thing at least he's improving, is his ability to score goals. But everything takes time, and for Elneny at Arsenal, it has been a very indifferent career in my opinion. There were moments where he had some successes, there were moments where he looked poor, but at least he's getting a look in under Mikel Arteta. Other managers such as Emerick didn't want to even have him in the squad, so it's good that he's at least getting some opportunity and maybe fit enough to play versus AFC Wimbledon. The next thing on the list is the fact that Gabriel Martinelli impresses in Arsenal training, and this is a great opportunity for Martinelli to come in and say that I want to be the number 1 playing in that left winger role, because he has competition from the likes of Bukayo Saka, Nicola Pepe, other players such as even Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, the likes of Smith-Rowe can play in that left winger role, so there is a lot of competition for the likes of Gabriel Martinelli to really impress in that role. But I think he has the mentality, the driven passion that he does have in every single game, and that is something that could be vital in terms of showing Mikel Arteta that he is capable of showing that he's one of the better players. He was in the shortlist for the top 40 players, young players under 21, but now is a great opportunity for him to impress in the game versus AFC Wimbledon and get himself a look in back into the Premier League, because he's been someone that's been under the limelight in my opinion. But there needs to be improvement, as always, from players such as the likes of Gabriel Martinelli. Hopefully we do see some improvement, and as he continues to impress in training, this is a great opportunity for him to come in and feature versus the likes of AFC Wimbledon and get that all-important victory, which we definitely so definitely need in order to build that confidence for the game versus Tottenham in the North London derby. So the final thing on the list is the fact that Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang is all smiles in training. And when it comes to Pierre, Emerick, Aubameyang, we have a player that is very, very hit and miss so far this season. There were moments where he did look very good, and there were moments where he did look a little bit poor. But hopefully he's able to get that all-important confidence in the game versus maybe AFC Wimbledon if he gets the opportunity to play. But when it comes to Aubameyang, we have a player that didn't do much in the game versus Burnley. But when it comes to Aubameyang, we have a player that is capable. He has the talents, but I think there's too much pressure on him, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of pressure on the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the captaincy. I don't know if everything. He's more of a guy that plays with his vibes. He has to have the right mentality. He has to have the right people around him. I don't see him more of a captain, but the reason he's a captain is because that's the only choice. Right, Xhaka's a good leader on the pitch, but he's not capable of playing every single game because I don't think he has the capability, the capacity, and the ability to play every single game. So when it comes to Aubameyang, he is someone that only fits that role where he plays every single game and he has some form of leadership qualities. Players do look up to him, and that's something that Aubameyang has. Maybe he could feature in the game versus Wimbledon, could get even a hat-trick like he did in the game versus West Brom, as Mikel is keen to put out the strongest team. So these are the 4 things that were spotted in Arsenal training as the Arsenal players prepare for their match versus AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup. And when it comes to Mikel, he does have an important decision to make in who he plays, because there's always going to be talk suggesting that he's made the right decision or the wrong decisions at the end of the day. But hopefully he's able to replicate what he's able to do against Burnley and the likes of Norwich City, and hopefully no more chances where we have to get a 1-0 win and scrape it through like we did versus Burnley and Norwich City. But hopefully we have a more enticing match where we have more focus, where we have more technique of the ball, and show that we're the superior side, and finish the game on early and help those fans be happy. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal performs at the end of this season. If you want to see more daily videos from Arsenal News TV, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the like button so I know if you enjoyed the video, and share the video to your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the videos on the screen and I'll see you there.